Joseph Stalin was born on December 18th in 1879 and lived till March 5th, 1953. He was one of the first leaders of the Soviet Union and was among the Bolshevik revolutionaries that overtook Moscow.
From a young age, Joseph Stalin was plagued with health issues and an alcoholic father. After leaving his family behind and dropping out of school, he discovered the works of Vladimir Lenin and began to take after him, joining the Russian Social Democratic Labor Party and later joining the Lenin-formed Bolsheviks group.
Stalin quickly rose in the Bolsheviks' ranks, proving to be an excellent organizer of men, and was eventually elected into the Bolshevik Central Committee. There, he helped organize the October Revolution of 1917, putting the Bolsheviks in power.
Lenin began to recognize Stalin as a loyal ally and later appointed him General Secretary in 1922. However, their relationship quickly deteriorated after Lenin suffered a stroke. Following Lenin's death, a struggle for power occurred within the Soviet Union. Mainly between Stalin and Leon Trotsky, it ended with Trotsky's exile from the Soviet Union.
Under Stalin, the Soviet society underwent great changes, mainly an advanced network of secret agents all answering to Stalin. During the 1930s, Stalin forced the Soviet Union to undergo great purging of those he believed to be traitors by vast executions and deportations.
Transitioning into World War II, the Soviet Union's refusal to sign an anti-German alliance with France and Britain resulted in the Soviet Union entering into a non-aggressive pact with Nazi Germany. Officially, this treaty was only a non-aggressive agreement between the two countries. However, it also divided Eastern Europe into German and Russian spheres of influences.
At the end of World War II, as Germany fell to the Western powers, the two spheres of influence that were once German and Russian began to become communism versus democracy. These two spheres of influence cut Europe down the middle with something called the Iron Curtain.
Shortly after Germany's betrayal of the Sino-Soviet Pact, the Soviet Union started to fall into a slow decline, later splitting up and losing its satellite states, and finally forming what is known today as the USSR.
Under Stalin's rule, the USSR was quickly transformed from a peasant society into a large military, industrial superpower. Stalin's health deteriorated towards the end of World War II. He suffered a mild stroke around the time of the Victory Parade and a severe heart attack in October 1945. On March 2nd, Stalin suffered another serious stroke. A few days later, on March 5th, 1953, Stalin died at the age of 74. Immediately following his death, Stalin was still praised and loved by the people throughout the Soviet Union. It would take Soviet leaders years to find someone to replace Stalin within their society. Once Nikita Khrushchev had risen to power, he began an era of de-Stalinization. During this period of de-Stalinization, Nikita Khrushchev and the other members of the Soviet Communist Party revealed the crimes that Stalin had committed during his reign in power. After discovering the crimes that Stalin had committed during his reign, the public of the Soviet Union began to cast a very dark shadow upon his reign. 8 years after being buried, Stalin's body was moved from the mausoleum outside and buried in concrete so that it could never be moved again. Although hated during the period of de-Stalinization, in Russia, most would agree today that Stalin was more of a wise leader than he was a murderous dictator. Stalin had been able to unite Russia in a way that no other leader had before. Although he did it with a firm hand and dark secrets, most today would agree that his good deeds outweighed his bad. Although in Soviet government and modern Russian government, most leaders would agree that Stalin's acts were unforgivable, many have adopted some of his ideals and share a strong resemblance to him in the way they rule modern-day Russia. Although his actions were more than questionable, there is no doubt that Stalin has left his mark on the modern world. Even though he is loved by some and hated by others, throughout his life Stalin has done nothing but prove that he is truly the man of steel. And without him, Russia wouldn't be where it is today.